Let me find you. Ah, there we are. Well, we are live in Create. It's been a minute since we've been here. It's been a couple weeks, but we are back. Hi Edie, I was live in our slab group today. Hey Sherry from Arkansas, how are you? It's been a while. Well, it's been a couple weeks. And I have for you what we did 2 weeks ago. I have it glazed. I'll show that to you. I think this is what we did in that group. If it's not, well, you'll get to see some glazed pieces anyway. But how have you guys been? I don't know about you guys, but the weather here is hot, hot, hot. We've actually been working from the house because the shop down at the lake has no AC, and we can get in there. We get down there early, but we've got to leave by about 11 because otherwise we are just sweating. So we've been working mostly from the house. Hey Carla, hey Darlene, Claudia, I see you all. So, hey Renee. So those of you that were on the quick little live I did in the slab group today, you'll see a little bit of a repeat here. I'm going to show these guys the glazed pieces because, hey B, over 100 each day, Sherry. Yeah, we've been hitting like 104. It's been horrible. Hi Bettina. So I believe in our previous live, hi Lisa, we did the wavy square nested set with the Oh My Daisy rolling pin. Somebody tell me if I dreamt that. Huh? Oh, hi, Mr. Wilson. I didn't say hi to Mr. Wilson. Hey, Misty, Jackie, and Dorothy. Okay, so tell me, wasn't it in this group that I did do the wavy square set 2 weeks ago or a couple weeks ago? I could be dreaming it. Hot where you are too, Renee? Yeah, it's been hot everywhere. Hey, Susan. Okay, so nobody's answering, so I'm going to assume it was in this group. I'm pretty sure it was. And so the wavy squares, I don't have it with me, but this is the littlest one. And I used the leftover textured pieces for the foot. But this is Amico's pink opal with black underglaze wiped back first. And then Amico's pink opal. Waiting on squash casserole. Oh, Cindy, that sounds good. Come on up. So the first part of this is going to be the things I showed you guys today in the society group, but things will change in just a little bit. Okay. So the smallest dish is pink opal. The middle dish was the baby daisy pin. And it is, believe it or not, black underglaze with white opal. Now, this is all, jeez, I'm gonna break them. This is also black underglaze with white opal. I think just having so much of it in there, it gave it that bluish tint. But like I told the society group today, these opals give almost a luster effect. So kind of a poor man's luster because it really kind of gives you that lustery look. which is really exciting. So, pink opal, white opal, and the third one, I did blue opal. And again, I did black underglaze and wiped back.
They're real dishes. They go clink.
Yeah, I'm in here clinking them. Will we be able to see Slab Society from earlier today? Don't think I was notified about it. Yeah, it's if you're in the Slab to Fab Society, that replay is in there. There wasn't really a notice. I just jumped on. I was just doing something, and I'm like, I gotta check on my slabs, my slabbers. So I just jumped on. So there really wasn't probably a notification, but the live is always there. Okay, so here is the blue opal. And man, I can't tell you which one I love the best. But let me show it to you. Hey Nancy from Massachusetts. Let me show you this stack. And on these, I just did the simple little foot, and I used some of the textured pieces. And they don't sit very high. Here's what, oh, let me do this. What am I doing? I have my camera now. Let me do this. Okay, whoops. Let me scoot me over. Woo! There we go. Okay, so here's what they look like stacked. I just love these. There's really nothing you can do to these daisies. Hey, Luann. There's really nothing you can do to these daisies to wreck them. I mean, who doesn't love a good daisy, right? So this 3-piece set in the opals, Bettina, I used the Squircle forms for the forms. Because it had kind of the wiggle there, I didn't want just a square. So I used Squircles. So, but you could use a square, you could use a round, you could use a quirky, you could use pretty much anything. Hi again, Jerry Lynn. I see Kristen Hoppe's on. I could look out my window and wave to her. Hi, Kiki. All right. So that was glazed, what we did in this group a couple weeks ago. Because I had some leftover pieces of the textured clay, I didn't just throw it away. I just, Mr. Wilson, what are these ones called? Sweet Tangles? I think these are Sweet Tangles. So I just had a couple of these laying around, and see, look, I did the quirky form in that one. Yeah, these are the Sweet Tangles. And again, whoops, white opal with black underglaze, pink opal. So I just, I could have thrown these scraps away. Instead, I have 2 little dishes. Because I was glazing, I did this dish, well, obviously around Christmas time. I did this for a live because I did the snowflake feet, and I never glazed it. Well, I wanted to see what this would be like with these opals as well. So I did blue underglaze. Well, actually, I didn't do blue underglaze. I did, hey, Sharon. I did blue stroke and coat. I think it was Caribbean. And then I put the white opal on it. And I just really wish, where's my camera? I really wish you could see that. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it really gives a luster effect. It's just really gorgeous. Misty, you ought to see pink opal with raspberry mist. It's so pretty if you like pinks. I'm getting ready to do some pink stuff for my daughter. I'm going to have to play with that. If you have something you did in that, be sure and send it to me. These are Mako's opals. who was asking me? Nancy. These are Mako's, pink opal, blue opal, and white opal. And so I've been playing with those. And then just as I want to see the difference, I did, well, let's put it under here. I'm having a hard time. My camera's in a different spot. Can you tell? And this is the wavy tangle, I think. No, I don't remember. But anyway, I had done this a while back and didn't glaze it. And so this one is Anico's Poppy. And boy, I mean, look at these daisies pop with that black underglaze. And this is what it looks like without the underglaze on it. And I just did some little fun stuff in my foot. So I want to show you the other week. Let me just show you these real quick. So this is what we did a few weeks ago with the daisies. And this is Amico's Marigold, Sky, and this is Tangelo. So the difference between Tangelo and Poppy, see the difference? It's really hard to determine which one I like the best. But as you can see, Flower Power as a set, Baby Squares as a set. I did Quirkies as a set. This is Georgie's Sand and Surf with Zinc Free Clear. And then I did, this is the blue, Georgie's Blue. And then I also did the Autumn Foliage with Eggshell Wash on the 12-sided form. So you can see there's almost nothing you can do to these daisies that is just not gorgeous. But anyway, what? What are you saying? Stealing something from the other room, but I can't hear it. So let me put this stuff back over there. So anyway, I'm trying to find you on my computer. Do I go? I'm trying to, Claudia, you say you're trying to find me on your computer, but you're in, yes, on your computer. You also go into this group, Create with Sharon Hoppe Designs, just like I guess you are on your phone, because I'm seeing you in the group asking the questions. So on your computer, yes, go into Sharon Hoppe Design. Create with Sharon Hoppe Designs, and you should see this live as well. What template? Bettina, for which one of them is which template? I'm not sure, because I showed a bunch, so I'm not sure which one you're asking about the template for. See, I have company I have company. I have company in my, see my little peoples right there, my little girls. So I have my little girls there. If you're talking about these ones, Bettina, these are the Flower Power templates. I did stacked flowers with these a couple years ago. The Flower Power. I think you said Daisy. Yeah, these are the Flower Power with my Daisy rolling pin. Amazon delivery. Might be the fondant. You need to grab it. Okay. So for today, where are we on time? Oh, 15 minutes in. Okay. So for today, oh, you found me. Okay. So Claudia, were you on your phone when you were asking? Because when you were asking, you were in this group on this live. But maybe you were on your phone and now you're on your computer. But I'm glad you're here. Okay, so let me get this stuff out of my way. I'll just stick it over here. So for tonight, we are, you're going to sneak peek something actually different tonight. I am doing a nested set, but I'm doing it up on a really, on a higher foot, not huge, but on a higher foot. So it stacks where these, see how these stack and there's hardly any space between them? And yes, it's still really, really pretty. But this one I'm going to show you today, I'm bringing the sides up. And so tight between the three of them comes to about like that. So it just comes up really tall. It's really pretty. And kind of something kind of totally different than what I normally do. Hi, Eva. Let's see if I missed anybody else. Hey, Kathy, Sharon Okerlund, Christy, Ola. We got lots of people in here tonight. Okay, so let's go to our first video to get started on tonight's. Okay, we are going to get started. I have a small slab of clay because that's all I needed. I took my template and measured, and it was perfect for that. And so what I'm going to do is my typical. I'm going to compress my clay both sides. For all you newbies in the group, whether you're new to clay, just new to Sharon Hoppe Designs, or Create with Sharon Hoppe Designs, is where we are. This is always step one. Always, always, always step one. You always want to compress all directions and really get into enjoying this step because it's going to be there everything you handled. Always, always, always. Okay, so there's that. Now, this is going to go this way. So I need to make sure I'm rolling out my clay the correct direction. So, in case you missed it, this is the template. Look at that. It is gorgeous. This is our solar eclipse. This one's actually the form. I typically work with the drapes because I can control my angle. I can go straight. I can go wide, however I want to. But my drapes are down at the lake. So I had to grab my forms that were here at the house. But this template is wavy oval, and it is so classy when you see it flipped over. But what I want to do is put it on here so I know which way I'm going to roll my birds. Look at these birds. Oh my gosh. Wait till you see them. So I'm going to want to roll it this way, not this way. I want them to go across, not up and down. So take my template off because you certainly want to make sure you have, this is going to be part of a 3-piece set. So I want all my birds going the same direction. So let me move this stuff out of my way. Water. Pull this down a little so that you can see me when I come in. So I'm going to stand up. I like to get pressure going down. And I'm going to press this. If the clay comes up with you, just press it back down. It doesn't take a lot of pressure at all. My pens are deep, almost too deep. I'm talking about making them not quite so deep. Look at this. Oh gosh. Look at that. Okay. So, haven't named it yet. but we need to. But I want you to see this. See what I'm talking about? It's almost too deep. It's like, oh my gosh, way too deep. But I love it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I could put this on my banding wheel system, put my template up, put my form on the top, and drape this across. I could 100% do that. And I have enough clay to do that. Or I could cut this out and put this in the middle and go across. Either way. Whoops. I think I'll just go ahead and put my banding wheel up here and do it that way. Just to show you. Nope. I usually use my banding wheel and my banding wheel system. Let me show you, you don't have to do that. I can simply pick where I want this to go, where it's going to be a really cute, I think down here, I'm going to get more birds. Over here in the corner, and then I can get cute stuff out of that too. Don't throw that away. Don't wad that up. Look at this. Look at all those birds up there. Move my camera. Look at all those birds up there. You still have lots of things you can make with that. So, make sure my camera's on. Okay. I'm going to come around, and this template, oh my gosh, cuts so simply. Just glides around, as I like to say, like butter. This, I'll use a scrap. Okay, this I'm going to set aside because I'm going to make some stuff out of that before I throw that away. And are you ready? Are you ready? Ta-da! Drum roll! Ooh. Okay, look. Look at this bad boy. Look at those. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to put my clay on top of my template here. I love to do that because it, you know, the more you play with your clay, the more you mess it up, right? If you're like me. So I can take and sponge around this, holding it on my template. And it's not going to flex or give or anything like that. And there you have it. I didn't intend to do birds. I've been working on flowers, but it's just too dang gorgeous to not finish it right now. I've worked on this for a while. All right, so there's that. So this is going to be very simple. We could do one of two things. We could go get a big thick craft foam, which I have sitting around here somewhere, and take our form and press in, or I can simply look for my middle. Let me stand up and look at that. Get that in the middle, and then flip it over. I like to use another template, and I'm going to put a piece of wood in here. I just grab a push plate or another form, nothing special, just to give me some extra height to this because, again, it's going to be a 3-piece set. So the biggest piece I want to lay the flattest, the middle piece somewhat coming up, And the bottom, or the very top piece, the smallest piece, I want as closed up as possible. So it'll go like this, like this, like this for a nested set. So let me do this. Let me get this in my hand. Put this on top. Flip it over. Grab my banding wheel without falling out of my chair and take that off. Okay, so that's how we flip that over. Stuff is hiding on me. So now what I want to do, you wouldn't believe it, but I've got 3 big dogs right here laying under my feet. Like, to put my feet underneath me, I had to kick one of the dogs out of the way. Okay, so now I'm just going to do my typical, I like to dip this in water a little bit and then come around and slowly, easily press this down just to kind of start getting it into place. I'm not pushing hard. Now I can pull up. As I come around the top, then I like to switch over to my red rib. I dip it in the water, just barely, just enough to make it slide. And then I come around and do my little swoop. Come down and swoop, come down and swoop. And as I do that, I lift my hand and keep my banding wheel spinning. Come around the top. Now, I do like to take my little red rib. Where'd my sponge go? I do like to take my little red rib and come in and bring this just a little closer to the form. And I get in with that little curve right there, goes right into where my form is and fits perfect. Okay. And there's that. Now, I can come around and get this bottom edge with my sponge. And it's ready for a foot. Look at that shape. I love that shape. So as a bowl, is it flat? You can pick it up by this side. You can stand it up and make it a deeper bowl. You can leave it flat and make it a place setting. It's just really, really versatile. I like to create things that are really, really versatile. All right, on to the next video where we're going to put a foot on this. Okay, so let me come back down here. Let me address some of the questions. Hey, Sally Roper from Jamaica. You used my hummingbird rolling pin, made a mug topper and painted it with color for earth, and it came out gorgeous. Well, Miss Sally, why haven't I seen it posted in our group so we can all say how gorgeous it is? So be sure and post it here. We want to see. And, oh, I need that pin, Sharon. Call it Lovebirds. That would be Miss Paula McCoy. Paula, you just picked up a huge order. And we are going to collaborate. Dell and I talked about this pin on that today, and I was like, oh, well, let's see. So I do like the name Lovebirds. We had been, we spun it around in my slab to fab group because in there I like to throw things out and let them help with decisions, and we came up with parrot perch. But I may change it to lovebirds. Let's see. Saw it. It was beautiful. I'm not sure what was being talked about when that came up. Yes, Jerry Lynn, there is no such thing as scrap, right? Especially when you're working with colored clay. Jane Spears, I love this pen. It's sweet. It's sweet, sweet, sweet. Birdie Nam Nam, and I don't know what Nam Nam is, so somebody who said that, go ahead and explain that one to me. I don't get out much. Let's see. Diane, the name of that template, if you're referring to the one I just used, it is Wavy Oval. Very simple name for a very simple design, but let me tell you, it's classy. Let's see. Who else has asked? Pretty Polly Party. Ooh, I like that too. Pretty Polly Party. PPP. I like that. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to show you because with this pen, let me bring you back down here. I think I need you. Hold on. Let me bring you here. So when I talked about no scraps, I just wanted to show you what I did with what was left over of that slab. Because it's new, and I haven't even wiped the edges of these yet, I took some leftover areas, and this one I cut around the farmhouse template. And you can strategically place them to where things work. So the farmhouse template, it looks great with. This was just another one of the template we're using tonight because I had enough space to get another big one. It's a parrot party, Cindy Orvit. And let's see. And so then I did a sassy square. Look at it with the sassy square. And right here, I was actually going to, because this could be just one of the little giveaways, not giveaways, one of the little, let's just put a K on this. The ones you could personalize. Look at that. The sassy square. Look at that. So there is no such thing as scrap. And then what I did was I took cookie cutters, as you can see, of various sizes. And I just took pieces out that was leftovers. This one is another one that could get a letter. But look at these. Look at what the leftovers, and then we can make the little dishes like I did. Let me show you. These little dishes that I did last week for the slab group. Just little easy, I'm used to my camera being over there. Can you tell? And I keep going the wrong direction. But these I'll make into these little dishes. And those sell very, very well. So there's that one. So what you can get with the leftovers is great. Yes, Bettina, I will be putting that up on the website. And then this one, I was testing out another new rolling pin, obviously with flowers, because that's my theme right now. And the birds just flew right in there. But testing another flower pin. And so I just cut out that little flower, and I want to test the thickness and everything of that. So no such thing as scraps. This pen, this parrot pen especially, you can pick out perfect little pieces to make all kinds of little things that add to your booth when people come in and they You know, a lot of times they can't quite afford the big stuff, but they'll jump all over the littler stuff. And these are perfect. I mean, who wouldn't want to come in and find two beautifully painted little lovebirds or a flower? So that's what I was talking to you about. That's what I was talking about with no scraps. I'm going to leave these covered because I won't be touching them tonight. I will be messing with these tomorrow. So, no scrap left behind, right? All right, let's go back up to the next video. On this video, I'm making a foot, and it looks ginormous, but when you see the whole thing done, you will see why I was doing that. Here we go. Okay, I have taken a coil of clay that I have rolled out, just a big wad, rolled it on my slab roller, squeezed it in so that it will fit in my extruder with just a single hole. So I'm going to slide that in. Oh, I thought I dug a divot in it. And then I'm going to screw this on. And then I'm going to squeeze it until the clay starts coming out. And there it comes. So what I'm going to do now, move this all over out of my way, and I'm just going to extrude a big long coil. It'll come in the view in a second here. Big long coil up here. Keep going. Look how long you can get with this. I'm going to pinch that off because I'm sure that's plenty for what I'm going to do. I see I have a couple little air holes here that it blew out a little. I'll just pinch it together. Maybe take a little pinch from inside or from the end. Rub that on there. You're never going to see that. Same with this little tiny one right here. Put a little piece of clay over that. Kind of rub it in. And you're never going to see it when we're done. And that was just having a little air hole. So let me grab my banding wheel. This is a big platter, bigger size platter. So this is going to give us a big foot. I'm going to use my little seam tool, and I'm just going to come spin my banding wheel. Whoa, stay, Nelly, stay. Spin this around here. All right. And I usually have my craft brush here, but I took it to the lake. It's okay, I'll use this one. Just a bigger one. I'm just gonna water this down a little bit. Now, as you see, what came out of my extruder is super soft. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that right on there. Oops. And I pulled a little piece off, and oh man, it's just almost enough. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually, instead of splicing that in, I'm just gonna make it fit. Come down here. I'm just gonna pull it down and let it hang over and fit. No, you know what? I'm just gonna see how it doesn't even want to move already. I'll just go ahead and do it this way. Put that on there. Grab my knife. This is my broken one, but it works, guys. And I'm going to come in kind of at an angle. Take that off. Take that off. And then take this one. And it doesn't really matter which direction you go with your angle. It's just so that you have more real estate here to put this through. So I'm going to go ahead and score both sides of this. Put it. Go ahead and wet that. And then you'll have to see which one. Ah, that's the one I took it from. Press that in. Press that in. And you'll never see that when we're done. We have a big, nice, hefty, healthy oval foot. Take my sponge. And I'm going to go around here and get this smoothed down. And like I said, you won't even see where I spliced it in. I like to look up and make sure it's the shape that I want it, like this. And then again with my craft brush, this one's pretty big, but that's okay. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna make sure this is seated in good, and any extra score marks I remove. I don't want those showing. Whoops, that was a little wet. Didn't mean for that to be so wet. Take all this wet off. Okay, now you can do so many things with this foot. It's big, it's gorgeous. I just want to come in here and make all sure that that slips out of there. Now that's using the round die. You can use any shape you want. Any shape that you want. The one thing you can see is where I stuck my finger in it. But you won't before long. All right. Now I am going to take a piece of this. Hold on. Piece of this template, or the template I actually used. And I'm actually going to put it on here, and I'm going to lightly press down. so lightly it didn't even really make it flat. It's just not round, if that makes sense. I'm going to put my little mark in here. And I'm going to put a leaf in here just for fun. Come up. There, look at that. Because there's leaves all over the front with the birds. The birds and the leaves and the flowers and the trees. Okay, now we'll flip this in a little bit and do some decorating on the front. But right now I'm going to put this aside. I do want to take my little red rib real quick and just kind of make sure that's down around that form. Go up next to that foot. And I have a few little score marks that I'm going to get out from under there, and they're gone. All right, so I'm going to set this aside and we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, let me come back here. Let's see. Cindy, those templates are new. They are on the website. It is wavy ovals, the wavy ovals. And they are super versatile. That rolling pin is also new, and it is on the website. And I did go change the name to Lovebirds. So it is up there. It is called Lovebirds. Let's see, who else is here? I see Beth and Diane and Vicky, Judy, Betty, Julie, Sheila, Debbie. Wow, we got a bunch of people tonight. So, that is, I cannot create a coil that big, that smooth, that even. But with my handheld extruder, I can. Like I said, these are going to be big, juicy bowls, and I wanted them to sit up. These are the ones we did the other week, and see how they stack beautifully, but they're kind of flat. You'll see the other ones are pretty tall, and it's just from adding that coil foot. Now, on that coil foot, you could stamp, you could use a lot of times I'll put a paintbrush, roll a paintbrush in it. In fact, I did that. I think I did that on that. See that? Just to give it some little decoration. So you could do all kinds of stuff too with the big round coil on there. So let's see. I think that was actually it as far as making them. Originally, what I was going to do was I was going to make the leaves and cut the leaves out and add to the side of the dish to make handles. But that template already has the loop on the side, which is a good handle. And once I flipped it over, I decided I loved it too much to even mess with it. But I was going to make handles out of the leaves, which is why I also put a leaf on the bottom. These are from Michael Harbridge, by the way. I've had these forever and ever and ever, and need to start really using them. So let's see what this looks like finished. Well, we are going to flip this. Excuse the little bobble I dropped my iPad and it landed right in the foot. So I'll fix that later. But what I want to do is flip this over and let you see what this looks like. Oops. The whole sandwich. And flip that over. Set it on this little banding wheel and voila. The little thing moved. Take that off. I just used that as extra space. Take this out. You reach in here and pop that out. Move that over here. And can you see that? Which way do I want to go? Right here. Let me make this smaller. There you go. What do you think of that? Oh my gosh. It's a little off center since I gouged the foot, but now all I want to do is go around, hit my edges, which only takes a second. I cannot tell you how beautiful the shape of this is. I just love the shape of this. Now, what we need to do is go get the other part of this set and put them together. Hold, please. Okay, here are the other two that I made today as well. Let's put one in here. Same thing. Put a leaf on the bottom and the foot. Big foot out of my extruder. Same thing with this one. Leaf on the bottom, though I had to sign it over here. And the foot, which makes these set big, tall, and proud. I'm going to see if you can see from this side. See how tall those sit? What a gorgeous art piece. A very tall, nice, heavy art piece. Or serving dishes on your table. Gosh, this one, you could put holes in it and it could be a soap dish with that big old foot on there. So there you have it. That is your project. Did I put all my birds facing the same direction? Yes, I did. And there you have it. Okay, I will tell you. You know me, and I typically, let me bring this down here. I typically use my dual drapes. And in this case, my solar eclipse ovals were at the lake. So I had to resort to my forms. Well, I came up with the dual drapes because I don't know if you can see in here, but you see, I've kind of cleaned most of it out, but you can see where that form goes. Even though we drop edge our forms so they don't have the pokey edge, they still will come in and leave a line or a mark, very light, but it's there, and it drives me crazy. Now, a lot of people don't mind that line, and if you don't mind it, then use a form. It's great. But if you want no lines whatsoever, and see the sharpness at the bottom, the dual drapes are rounded. Now, like this one didn't get a line, well, a little bit of a line in the leaves, but you could do this exact same thing with the dual drapes and have the rounded bottoms and no line whatsoever. So that's just a matter of preference. If you don't mind a line in your texture like you messed up, then use the forms. If you don't like that, then use the dual drapes. It is your choice. Look at this. Look what I did. So right above me is my iPad as the camera, and I was messing with it, and it fell out, and look, it landed right there, and right there. So I will probably go in and make a mark just like it here and here to make it look like I did it on purpose. But that is okay. Hey, Diane, that's okay that you're late. You are here, better late than never. And the replays are here for you. So this is available. It's on the website, Lovebirds, and the template is wavy ovals. And I will tell you, I hate doing this, but our materials have gone so high that we are going to have to raise prices a little bit. So if you're wanting to get stuff, you should get it now before the prices go up. I will tell you, our forms, this is just a half-inch one, but all of our forms are made out of 3/4 inch Medex, which is the highest grade exterior grade you can get. So they don't swell, they don't mold, they're very hard to chip, as opposed to just the low end MDF. We don't use that, but the difference in the prices of those are $30 a sheet versus $100 a sheet. Well, those sheets have gone up exponentially, and they're even hard to get. So, we've really stayed competitive with pricing, even though our material is 4 times other materials. So we are going to have to probably go up here a couple dollars before too long, but we're trying not to. Let's see. Any change in international postage? We still need to wait. Vicki, remind me what country you're in. Oh, you're in Australia. Do we have Australia open?
Australia is open at the moment for priority mail.
Okay, Vicki, Australia is open at the moment, and you are able to order. I will just tell you that Australia and a couple of the other countries do tend to change their shipping on a daily basis. So right now it's open. If they change their charging and it's in your favor, I'll refund you the difference. If they change it the opposite way, like we had one the other day that it changed about $75, then we'll reach out and ask for that, because we can't pay all the shipping on all of the internationals when they change by that much. But at this precise moment, you're free to order. It's just a sign. Yeah, it is. It's a sign of the times. It's terrible. How long do I leave the dish on the form? Okay. It depends on a lot of things. The environment, what's like inside my house. A lot of times I go set them outside my door in the sun. And what I'm looking for is, see how this is still kind of bendable, but it's holding its shape. But watch this. I hope I don't break this. See, I can bend that in, but I want to pull that out real quick. So it's still a little bendable, but it will hold its shape. So that's when I take them off. Because if you leave them on for overnight, days, whatever, or if you're going to leave it overnight, throw plastic on it, because it's not going to hurt our forms any, but it very well could crack your pot. And you don't you don't want to crack the pot. So it depends on how quickly your stuff dries, but that's all I can tell you on that. You gotta find your sweet spot for what your temp is that day. Let's see. Can't wait to see what collaboration you and Paula do together. Your talents are such a compliment to each other. Yes, they are. And I can't wait either. We were just talking about that. Hey, Lucy and Penny. Well, the replay is here for those of you that just came on to see what we've been doing. And for the rest of you, I will see. Oh, by the way, guys, for this group, I am going to be moving the live from Thursday back to Tuesdays. And so our live time will start being Tuesday evenings at the same time. And I'll put a notice in the group. So I want to be working with my slab group even more. So we'll move this one to Tuesday. And if you're in my Slab the Fab group, you get a nice little discount on your rolling pins. What size is your largest platter there? This platter here, Cindy, is the 13 1/4. And then this was the 7 1/2, 10 1/2, 13 1/4. That was my largest one. And I did that because not only did I put the big foot so they would sit proud, but I also wanted more of a border showing. So I did every other one to give it that bigger, more floral effect. All right, everybody, I will see you. I don't know if it'll be this coming Tuesday or the next, but I will put a notice out. And if you have any other questions, email me or put them in the group. See you guys.